Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all well. Auto didic didactic. Fuck knows that channel there at the bottom. Didactic 2. Fuck knows. I should have read it before I started. Flags that aren't real. Bondi, Strange Realm is the name of the video. It's 38,000 subscribers. I just come across the channel. To be honest, it's the first video on YouTube. I was talking to somebody yesterday. And they were claiming that the old Bondi Beach was a false flag and it wasn't real. That it was a false flag. If anybody knows what a false flag is, um, yeah, I mean we've had incidents in the past where people think 9/11's false flag. I mean I would probably be inclined to agree with that one, to be honest. From what I've seen of 9/11, it's very hard to pin it on the Muslims. To be honest, it's very hard to pin it on the Muslims with some of the stuff that happened. Building 7, primarily being one of the main reasons. There's no plane at the Pentagon. I made a video about that. Got removed from YouTube. Yet there's plenty of other videos on YouTube saying exactly the same thing. And I didn't claim anything. I just said, "Where's the plane? Where's the wreckage? Where's any of the fuselage, the wheels, the seats, the luggage?" There's a lot of fucking there's a lot of bits on a plane. When a plane goes down, there's usually quite a mess. Do you know what I mean? Go and look at any plane crash in the world, and there's quite a lot of fucking mess. You know what I mean? A lot of plane lying around there, bodies, seats, luggage, you name it. I mean, go and look at Lockerbie as an example. I know that's slightly different. It wasn't really a crash. But bits of plane were everywhere. Generally, there is an entire plane there. It does not disintegrate into thin air. Where did the plane go? And both at Shanksville more than the Pentagon, to be honest. But at Pentagon as well, there is no plane. So yeah, it's dodgy as fuck, to be honest. Again, I'll be the first to say that I think 9/11 was a false flag. And again, we invaded Iraq and Afghanistan, who had very little to do with 9/11. Apparently, majority of the terrorists were Saudi Arabian. So why we invaded Iraq and Afghanistan is unbeknown to most people, to be honest. The axis of evil, obviously. Saddam Hussein and Gaddafi, but I mean, if you look into that deeper, then the kind of crack is with them, they wouldn't play ball with the New World Order, so they were taken out. They didn't want a part of this global agenda. So, yeah, so it's geopolitics, to be honest, and you get fucking lied to. That's the other side of it. So the Bondi Beach claims it was a false flag. It wasn't real. I heard this yesterday off somebody I was talking to, but I don't really. He's a flat earther, so I'm 50-50 on whether I trust his information because he thinks the earth's flat, and I really don't. So, but it was mentioned that it was a false flag and it was fake. So I had a lot of listen to him, but there was no proof forthcoming from his mouth. Again, nothing he can say can really convince me. And he's a flat earther, so I'm always on the fence. You know what I mean with anything he says. So yeah, that was the claim yesterday. But then I've come across this video here. The flags aren't real. Again, false flag. The flags aren't real. Bondi Beach, Strange Realm. So yeah, this guy's claiming. I'm not claiming it's a false flag. I'm not claiming it's not real. I don't know. We're going to watch this and we're going to see if we can get any clearer answer and nearer the bottom of what's going on. But I'm not claiming it's a false flag. I'm not claiming it's not real yet. I don't know. I don't know. I've had two people claim it, one in person, this video here. So I'm willing to listen because I'm very, very aware that false flags do happen. They are a thing. We get lied to by the media and the powers that be. There's a lot of agendas at play here, and a very, very strong possibility for what could be going on is you're galvanising people for war with traumatic events. Again, there's probably hundreds of thousands of Australians now in the light of Bondi Beach, if it be real, or thinking it's real, would fight a war against the Muslims for innocently slaughtering people on their streets, the same as on Britain here. I often think that's what Tommy Robinson's doing, to be honest. I think Tommy Robinson's maybe just galvanising people for war. And in order to fight a war, you've got to have people to fight a war. We live in a time very much where generations don't want to fight wars. We've seen there in Germany, I never mentioned it, but I don't know if anyone's seen, they talked about bringing conscription back. And a lot of the German youth were like, no thanks. So you have to galvanize people for war, you really do. But yeah, mindset's everything. To be honest, mindset is everything, especially going into a war. And again, this is really what you've got to do. You've got to get people in the mindset for war. You've got to get people ready to fight. Give people the will to fight and the reason to fight. Again, it doesn't just come from nowhere. If Russia attacked us tomorrow, again, that might not be enough. You need to boogeyman Putin. You know what I mean? Years and years of propaganda to say Putin's the boogeyman, and if we don't get rid of Putin like Hitler, the whole world will go to bagwash here. Do you know what I mean? You've got to propaganda the people into the fight. You really do. It's not as simple as just have a war. People need to fight the war and want to fight the war. That's the other side of it. So I often think a lot of this might be just war galvanizing us for the Third World War, and Tommy Robinson could be very much doing the same. Because again, the British are very apathetic, it would seem, and without Tommy Robinson, not a lot would probably be getting fucking done about anything here. I mean, there is the protest outside the migrant hotels, but again, nothing anywhere gets anywhere near as big as what Tommy Robinson did on September the 13th. I don't know how many was there on December the 13th for the Christmas Carol event. There's a good video by Baston Boogie, actually, put up yesterday. She goes down to it. She gets called the N-word by one of the left wing, who is also black. Yeah, and she just gets her renewal again. They're absolutely, she absolutely blows a hole in the left wing, Baston Boogie, when they're going around calling everybody fascists and racists. And here's Baston Boogie in our number, knocking around with Tony Robinson. No one has a single problem in the world that she's black. Not at all. She's a lovely lass, it would seem. Do you know what I mean? She's a lovely lass. And, like, ultimately, skin colour is very, very... it's not important. To be honest, it's not important. And Baston Boogie, from what I've seen of her, on multiple videos, she was at the Tommy Robinson thing. I've watched many, many videos of Baston Boogie, and she seems like a nice lass. Yeah, there you go. Do you know what I mean? We haven't a problem with Baston Boogie because she's a nice lass and she believes in Britain and the future of Britain. So the fact that she's black is completely irrelevant to us because we're not racist. It makes no difference whatsoever. I very much consider Baston Boogie one of our number. Do you know what I mean? And plenty more black people as well, to be honest, but I don't know them by name. Well, I mean, there's Tay of the bodyguard of Charlie Beach, and used to be DJ Media. I haven't seen him with them much. He's got his own channel now. But Tay is very much a black man, and again, not a problem at all with Tay, very much one of our number. So we're not racist. We have no problem at all with black people whatsoever. So that right can't be said, but yeah, Baston Boogie, real good video there where the left winger, one of the left wingers called her a Negro. I mean, don't get the wrong, the guy who calls her is black, but yeah, she just gets shut down by them. You know what I mean? When she's trying to ask, well, how was Tommy Robinson racist? I mean, some of the stuff they were coming out with, that Tommy Robinson was gonna. What did they say? No, Tommy Robinson was trying to kill the poor or something. I think one of them said like kill the poor or something. I can't remember. It was fucking madness. So that's what you get from the left wing. No, non-argument, madness, and a load of bullshit. That's a left wing all over here. We've seen it. We've seen it multiple videos, week in, week out. The left wing are all idiots. They haven't got a fucking clue what's going on. They can't answer a question. They have no debate. They've got no argument. They're all fucking morons. So that's it. And the minute they try to have an argument or have a debate, they lose. They lose because they're stupid and they're wrong. Ultimately, that's what's happened. You're wrong. So, is the false flag the Bondi Beach? We've been all over the shop here. I've been to fucking London with Baston Boogie. We've been around the world here. Well, let's go back to Australia. The flags that aren't real, Bondi, Strange Realm. Right, I've watched a bit of this, and I'm not convinced personally. I'm not convinced that it is a false flag based on what I've seen so far in this video. Again, the guy's shooting and he is missing people, but I mean that could just be a bad shot in many ways. But he is quite close to miss, I suppose. It is getting suspicious But I'm not convinced. So we'll have a listen and see what we think. Here we go.
The flag that was not real that happened on that sandy place in the land of Oz. We've all heard about it with the bang bangs, and already there's so much come out, and this is clearly a flag that is not real, if you know what I'm saying. So I've just got a couple of videos. Let's check them out and just show how this is. It's all a stage, and this is what I talk so much about, the 2D world. Everything on the screen that we're shown, it all looks real, but so much of it is staged and set up.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the Boston Bombers, the Boston Bombers, due to a guy called PK, an Australian YouTuber. For me, the Boston Bombers was a false flag, and PK, Truth, his channel was called. If he's still about, I don't think he is. He kept getting removed because he kept exposing the truth, to be honest, and he kept exposing false flags, and Boston Bombers was massively for me, and he proved it. If you can find his videos, they are still available, but I just don't think they're on YouTube. He did have a external site that he put all his videos on because YouTube kept removing them. So they do exist still somewhere. PK Truth, Boston Bombers False Flag is the information if you want to look and find him. He was an older guy though, again Australian, so he might be paying attention to what's going on here because it's happened in Australia. I'd love to know. I'd love to watch him again. He was funny with his Australian accent as well. He was the Bondi, the Boston bombings videos he exposed were not just the truth, but they were really funny as well. He was really funny. So yeah, the Boston bombings for me were a false flag, and I will go as far as say 9/11 was as well. I mean, there's claims of other ones. There is actually a documentary on YouTube, or it used to be called the 7/7 Ripple Effect, and it's claiming that the London bombings was also a false flag. But I'm not too sure about that one. But there is a documentary claiming that. But that's the problem. You've got to be wary that people claim everything's fake. That's the other side of it. That's why I'm wary here. I'm not 100% in the ring here that this is fake. Um, but I'm not 100% that it isn't either. I'm very much open to the possibility it could be. Again, I do believe we have had false flags in the past. 9/11 being the biggest one, and then the Boston bombings being another one that I believe was false flag that has been proved to me, and has been proved by a guy called PK Truth, if you can find him. So, two there, I would say, and there were big events. 9/11 was massive, to be honest. 9/11 was massive. Well, even the Boston bombings was quite a big one at the time. I remember when it happened, and yeah, they do false flag us. And again, it's a false. What a false flag is wearing the flag of your enemy while you commit an atrocity, and then the blame is put on the enemy, and obviously heightens tensions, could escalate wars. There is a claim that Hitler burnt down the Reichstag, and he claimed it was terrorists, and that got some action going there in Germany back in the day. So that's the kind of the scenario. You commit a crime on yourself or on your own people, wearing the flag of the enemy, and then in the aftermath, it's all about the aftermath. It's not actually about the attack. It's about the aftermath and the ramifications of the attack. So you wear the false flag, attack your own people, and blame it on the enemy, and then you have justification to attack or kill the enemy. That is kind of the whole essence what a false flag is. 9/11 happened for no reason whatsoever. We raided Iraq and Afghanistan, even though I think 22 of the 24 people blamed for 9/11 was Saudi Arabian. We never went anywhere near Saudi Arabia. So that's kind of what a false flag is. Again, in my opinion, 9/11 is one, Boston bombings is one. I'm very open to the possibilities that there will be more. And that's because I believe we do need galvanised for war. We definitely, there's talk worldwide at the moment, on the news, everywhere you look. There's talk of a third world war. Well, that's predictive programming. They're getting you ready. In my opinion, this war is coming. They are getting you ready for the war, and people ready in your minds that war is coming here again. You will not be dumped in war from nowhere. You will be prepared for it. It'll go a lot better if you're prepared for it. So that's what you'll be will be done. You will be prepared for war, but not just prepared. Some people need prepared, but some people need to fight the war. So as much as you prepare the public, some of that public have to fight the war. So again, you have to galvanize these people to fight. You have to give them a reason to fight. And mercilessly killing people of your number again. I mean, it works on me for this instance, but again, we're getting that many Muslim attacks in Britain that again, some of them could be false flags yet again. We don't know. We're not looking strongly enough into them because people are getting murdered here. You don't like to say things are false flags. That's the problem. Um, but yeah, that it's again, you've got to be very wary. That you've got to again, we are definitely being galvanized for war here, in my opinion. So you've got to be very careful because in order to do that, they have to do these things in order to give you the will to fight. So be very very careful. That's the thing. Yeah, be very very careful. But this is the news again, and we all know the mainstream lie. That's the beauty of it. This all filters out of the mainstream, doesn't it? That's the thing. It's what have we got from the social media aspect side of it? What's going on before? What have people got? Like, you know what I mean? That it's. I don't know. I don't know. Let's play a bit anyhow. I've waffled on long enough here.
And I think this little incident might prove that theory. Okay, so here's some footage that I find very interesting. We're going to keep the volume down just because censorship, right? But this is one of the shooters. I believe this is the son. It was supposed to be a father and son team playing this game. And you can see there's this guy in the white shirt at the back here, and this guy's pointing a bang bang at him. Let's see what happens.
You keep saying bang bang and pew pew. It does my fucking head in. Say gun, mate. Do you know what I mean? Say fucking gun. Fuck YouTube. Um, yeah, so he's claiming this guy. I mean, this is the guy who had the gun took off him, I believe. I think he said he thought he was the son, but I don't think it is. I think that's the father. So you're wrong on that already. So there's a guy there in the bottom, as you can see, and he claims he was shooting at the guy, and they're just like, but I mean, there is such thing as missing somebody when you're shooting. You know what I mean? I mean, he is pretty close, to be fair, but there's still the option that you could miss people. It's not an exact science with every shot. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, it is very close. He should probably hit him, to be fair. I mean, I'm not sure what he's firing either. It's kind of blurry. But yeah, you would have thought you would hit him. So it is slightly dodgy. I think he fires more than one shot as well. And there's another person there. We'll have a look. Have a look anyway.
Did you see that? Now it comes up a bit further later. We've got some, this is apparently this is, the photo of who it is and all this. This is the father up on a bridge, and that is a bit suspect too. So here goes the son, right? He's just ringing off all these.
Yeah, I mean, his bullet's coming out there. I sort of seen it later on there. Hold on.
Did you see that? Now it comes up a bit further later. We've got some, this is apparently this is, the photo of who it is and all this. This is the father up on a bridge.
Yeah, I mean, some of the stuff he says, like what's wrong with that? He looks like he's reloading a gun. Why is that massively suspicious? I mean, I can't. I may be wrong, but I mean, that picture there of the guy looks like he could be reloading. What's wrong with that?
And that is a bit suspect too. So here goes the son.
So him shooting here, like, does it look like a real gun, really firing? I mean, there was very little recoil there. Very little
Right?
re
It's just
Very little recoil at all. I mean, I don't know if that's the thing again. This goes into sort of the Charlie Kirk thing. I don't know guns. I'm not American. I've literally never fucking shot a gun in my life. I don't even think I've held a real gun. I maybe I've held one somewhere. I've never shot one. Never shot a gun. Never shot a pistol. Never shot a rifle. Never shot a shotgun. Never shot a gun at all ever. Right? I'm in Britain. It's not really a thing we do. It's not. They're not ten a penny over here. Yeah, I've never shot a gun, never handled a gun, so I don't know about recoil. Well, I do know about recoil, but I'm not aware of of the extent of recoil depending on the gun. But it's like with the Charlie Kirk affair thing again. It's kind of where we fell down because we don't know. But at the same time, I know and agree with everybody that does agree with guns that when you shoot somebody in the fucking with a sniper rifle from 200 yards, the impact and the power of the weapon is immense. It's a fucking sniper rifle. You know what I mean? So it just didn't match for me with Charlie Kirk and the neck. It didn't match the impact damage. Didn't match the claim of the rifle and the distance for me, and again, kind of proof of it for me was John F. Kennedy gets shot in the head and his head gets fucking obliterated. Like that's the damage that a sniper rifle will cause at close range. And everybody that knows ballistics has basically fucking said that. So yeah, but I don't know ballistics and everything. So again, now we're into a different sort of field of knowledge in that world. Recoil of guns. Now it looked like a fucking fairly high powered gun to
You
me.
can see there's this guy in the white shirt at the back here, and this guy's pointing a bang bang at him. Let's
Yeah, but again, he doesn't shoot the guy. He points at him, but again, you could miss. But again, he is quite close to miss, so it is quite. Again, I don't know if this is a false flag. It's just the guy's got. He's got. You've got to look at stuff. Do you know what I mean? You've got to. You've got to find the truth. Ultimately, as Charlie Kirk said, never stop looking for the truth. So that's what we do. And then there's been a claim here, so we're looking at the claim. And this bit here for me is inconclusive. You have the ability to miss the shot, but I do believe he does take two shots. The guy is real close. The guy isn't running away. I don't know if that's the guy that takes the gun off him eventually. It looks a bit like the size of the guy wearing a white shirt. Not sure. Not sure. So yeah, the claim is I think this guy's claiming they're all crisis actors. Again, that's kind of what happened on the Boston bombing affair. They were crisis actors. Again, PK Truth pretty much proved that. To be honest, if you want to go and find him, um, yeah, this is the claim. So anyway,
see what
recoil.
happens. Did you see that? Now it comes up a bit further later. We've got some, this is apparently this is, the photo of who it is.
Right, I've heard a crack as well. He was in the IDF. I don't know if that's in this video or another video I watched that he was in the IDF and he worked for Israel. He was in the Israeli army at some point. Is a rumor being spread? I wouldn't go with that 100% just because it's been said. But because again, propaganda will be leaked from the other side. That's the other side of it. You know what I mean? The Muslims, if this is the Muslims, will fucking leak propaganda to fuck Israel over. It works both ways. It really does. And the left will swallow it. You know what I mean? So again, a lot of stuff will be said, but doesn't mean it's true. You've got to be very careful. So again, I'm not claiming this is a false flag. I'm not claiming this is fake and crisis actors. I don't know yet. That's what we're looking at. But again, there was a slight little bit of dodginess. The Lado didn't get shot a minute ago, but I mean, not loads, not enough.
And all this. This is the father up on a
That doesn't mean anything to me. Just could be reloading.
bridge, and that is a bit suspect.
This, right, it doesn't, looks like quite a high-powered weapon, but it doesn't look like there's much recoil in any way, but he is quite a strong lad. But I don't know. Somebody else who knows guns needs to examine what's happened here, really.
Too. So here goes the son. Right, he's just ringing off all these pew pews. And look, now did you
Yeah, like, no, he's shooting, but he could be shooting to the left of the tree, but the guy is there, right? So here we go.
see that? He took a shot at that guy. Right, there's this guy in the white and there's a guy in black. Let's watch this. See that? Bang. Nothing. Another one. Straight at him. And he just gives up and he's like,
Yeah, Lotto just points at him. I mean, don't get me wrong, that is a bit weird, but you can miss, you can be a bad shot. I mean, if it's not a shotgun, it's not spraying, and it's one bullet, and people have missed at closer range, to be honest. But like, yeah, you have the inability, you have the ability to miss, but would you miss at that range? And the guys are firing. I don't know. I don't know. It's like that's the problem, but it's been said. It's been filmed, and I thought I'd mention it because it's out there. You know what I mean? This is the claims. I don't know. I don't know, but it is slightly dodgy that he's taking shots at these people, and they're just fucking they're laughing at him, pointing at him. You know what I mean? Well, he literally stops and points at him. Wait and see.
See that? Bang. Nothing.
Right, watch.
Another one.
Look,
Straight
there.
at him.
Stops, turns
He
around,
just gives up.
turns around and points at him. He does, and the guy with the gun then kind of gives up, as he says. It is a bit mental. You know what I mean? It's not proof it's a false flag or anything yet, but that is a bit mental. He's shooting at two of them. He misses, or the firing blanks, and then the guy just points at him, and he stops shooting and tries to like walks off. It is a bit mental, really.
And he's like, oh, geez, they're not playing the game with me. They mustn't be the paid participants. Like, just shot them, right? Like, bang, bang them as point blank, basically, and nothing. The guy in the white shirt just pointed a finger at him. This is
Yeah, I mean, I seen as well a bit of footage there yesterday of like somebody kicked one of them in the head when they'd been arrested, I think, and somebody said he was dead. But I don't know. But if it was a false flag and it was all a load of bullshit, they won't be dead because it's a false flag. So he'll kicked somebody in the head there. But there is footage of somebody kicking one of them in the head, I think, when they've been arrested. So I don't know, but there'll have been people on the scene there. Again, if one of them isn't dead, something might filter out from the public. Somebody might come out and say something. Somebody who was there. I don't know. But again, this is just the video I've come across. I'm just playing you the video.
Bondi Beach. Obviously, everyone running as you would, right? If you heard all these things. Now, this is the older, the father, and you'll see lots of footage. He's crouching behind this and he's shooting straight ahead of this wall.
I think he constantly gets it wrong. I think that's the son, not the father. Again, I'm just going by what they were wearing, and I think that the son was wearing all black. I mean, if we go back here, I know that the father's wearing a black top. Where was the guy with the recoil picture? I'm sure he's wearing a black top as well, isn't he not? Oh, fuck me, I can't find it. In there somewhere. That bit. Hold on. Yeah, he's wearing a black top as well. So was the father wearing white pants there? Right, the father's wearing white pants. So the father's wearing white pants and a black top. The son's wearing black pants. So that's for me, the son. You've got black pants on, look. Somebody with white pants is possibly lying down there, whether he's dead or been shot or he's reloading, or I'm not sure at all. But I believe that the one of them died, but the father died. Sorry. So that could be the father laying down dead, being shot, but I don't see any blood particularly. But again, it looks like white there, black there, lying on the floor possibly. And so that could be the father. That could be the son still shooting. Again, I mean, I don't claim this is a false flag, and I don't claim it's fake either. I don't think there's enough. I
It
don't think
is.
there's enough there with the guy missing to definitely say conclusively it was fake and it was a false flag. What I'm seeing here is looks like the father on the floor and the son's still shooting, and apparently the father died and was shot. So again, that could be what's happening there. I don't think there's enough here to say it's definitely a false flag and it's fake. And that's from what I've seen so far, anyway.
And he's shooting straight ahead of this wall. He's not going sideways. He's going straight down the car park where there's no one. Interesting. And how did they get drone footage, by the way, and not get to this guy faster because he's completely exposed, right? This is all someone's caught on video. Look at them, completely exposed, and they're just pew-pewing down that car park. Here's a top view. This is the beach. So they were in there. Okay, this is Mr. Plod telling us what he thinks we should know. Here's some more drone footage, and as you can see, they were just pew-pewing down into the car park. All right, here's some more. Obviously, this was a gathering of small hats, but there you go. Like, point, look at that.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, there is quite a lot of footage here. Well, I mean, we have got a drone. Could that be coincidence? Somebody had a drone at the time, but I mean, slightly suspicious, I suppose. We've got someone filming here of him doing all this. Um, Someone filming them shooting for ages. I mean, you'd think you'd run away. You know what I mean? Would you stand and film people who are indiscriminately shooting people? Why wouldn't they shoot you? Why didn't they shoot the drone? Well, like again, these why haven't I mean this guy's maybe semi hiding behind something here, but you're taking your life in your hands. You're taking your life in your hands, filming all this in a way. And how many times when this kind of event happens do we really have people sort of filming the full thing? Come to think of it, do you know what I mean? Like you run off because you don't want fucking shot. Like everybody scatters, from my knowledge. There's panic, there's confusion. Again, filming what's going on is kind of the last thing on your mind, really. Unless you're in the media, like you're literally you've been sent to a war zone and you're the media, and that's your job to capture what the fuck's going on. But for me, a lot of people would scatter. Do you know what I mean? Like you don't hang around and film the guy shooting. You run away so you don't get shot. Like that would be my course of action anyway. Run away so you don't get shot. So yeah,
Keep you straight at him.
there's maybe a slight bit of suspicion here. I hadn't thought of this to be honest till now. You know what I mean? Yeah, but there's quite a lot of footage of all this going on. Prolonged footage of like somebody just literally stood there filming this guy shooting and shooting and shooting. So why didn't you shoot them? You know what I mean? Like why? And why would you risk that? That's the other side of it. Why would you stand and risk filming this guy shooting? And to possibly get shot, because ultimately you don't need to film him doing it. He's got the gun. There's people dead. There's camera and CCTV probably all over the fucking shop here. You don't need to stand and film this guy doing this. And like, if you're doing this for clicks, then these people are just idiots, and you could get shot trying this. You know what I mean? It's slightly suspicious. Again, maybe adding to a bit of suspicion. This whole incident here where he shoots and Lado points at him suspicious. But the fact that everybody stood there filming this is obviously quite suspicious as well, come to think of it. Like, why aren't you running away?
Straight at this guy. And then he's like, oh gosh, they're not playing. They're not playing the game.
Yeah, and then just points at him and like again, this is slightly strange. I can't give it 100% false flag on this alone. But two strange things is this shooting just completely misses. Lado just points at him like he doesn't give a fuck that he's got a gun. And there's a lot of people standing around filming this whole affair that, in my opinion, should probably be running away. So the suspicion's gathering. Yeah, it's there, and he just sort of gives up trying to shoot them. Like, oh well, we
So this
men.
was obviously, we know, that the small hat gathering was basically what screams flags not being real, right? And here you go, like someone's shooting, but like you say, this is the bridge. It goes straight down the car park where no one is. He's got really no access to the beach. And his son, who was out there, people weren't playing the game. Here he goes. He runs down because they can't hit anyone from where they are. This guy's just in the background behind him, doesn't care that there's two active pewers apparently. And does he even look like he's aiming at anything? He's just sort of bang bang, running around, and then he's telling people to go away. Did you see that? It's like, just look here, just run away, not interested. And then this came out, they gave him a
So it must be on here. I served in the IDF. So yeah, there he's kind of like telling someone to go away or something. Like, and again, there is a bit of weirdness here. Like, to be fair to this guy, this channel, and the claims that this isn't maybe what we think it is, and maybe he's just galvanizing people for war. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But again, there is slight bit of weirdness going on. That whole there, everybody filming all this. I don't know. It's kind of make your own mind up, but more might come out as we go down the line. Again, it was fairly recently. It only happened a few days ago. But the claim the guy was in the IDF has been made as well here.
certain name, which I won't mention for certain reasons. But this is his real name, apparently. And that's the small hat defense forces.
Yeah, I don't know about any of this, and again, I leave the possibility open that the Muslims can release propaganda and lies to try and muddy the waters, very much so. So again, doing all this could have been released from the Muslim angle, and just claiming this, it might not be true. But it makes people think bad of Israel yet again. There's this whole Muslim Israel war going on here, whether you like it or not. And propaganda's flying from both sides. It really is. I mean, what was Tommy Robinson doing? What's Erica Kirk up to? Like, there's a definite Israel angle here. You can't deny it. Tommy Robinson was in Israel. Erica Kirk keeps mentioning Jewish faith, Israel, and things like this. There's a whole Israel angle here. Again, this is completely undeniable if you're paying attention. There's definitely an Israel angle. Well, you've got the other teams, the Muslims. You know what I mean? The Muslim Brotherhood here. Um, yeah, and that's kind of the teams. Now both are going to release propaganda to the world, trying to convince the world. It's like the World War II, you know what I mean? Hitler's the bad guy, so basically you're going to get propaganda telling you that Netanyahu's the bad guy. We've seen plenty of that. And there'll be plenty of propaganda released by the Muslims again, like just on anything and on anything to make Israel look bad. That's what they do. Again, the whole Gaza war and the killing children. Well, that was the, you know what I mean, the propaganda. Even though like the Hamas were like camping out in hospitals apparently. Oh, that's again propaganda from the Israelis. This is just the information we get given. You know what I mean? But you've got to stop and understand, I suppose, that the propaganda will be filtered from both sides. So again, I don't know. I don't know the truth of any of this yet, but I've just keep an open mind as to whether. Well, not only is it true, but again, it can literally be propaganda to muddy the waters and make Israel look bad or make the Muslims look bad. You know what I mean? So I've got to keep an open mind. So, I mean, I feel a bit, again, I made this video yesterday about the Muslims doing another attack by the Muslims. So if it all comes out, it's a false flag and it's the IDF. I mean, I have to take my foot out of my mouth, do you know what I mean? And I have to apologise to the Muslims in many ways, but, well, for this particular attack. Well, there's been plenty more, but again, if it comes out, then we need to pay more attention to what's going on. Because ultimately, do look like we're heading for the Third World War here. This is the bottom line. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, you have to get people ready for war, not just the public and the psyche of the nation, but you need people to fight the war. So you need to galvanise the young males, if not anyone else, into violence, into anger against the enemy for what they've done. So yeah, that's kind of how you 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 get the war going. You know what I mean? That's kind of how you get the war going here. You need the people to want to fight it. So I don't know. I'm going to leave it there on this video if you want to go and watch it. I'll keep an eye for what comes out. And if there's anything cast iron proofy that this is a false flag, or if anyone's seen anything, write in the comments what you've seen and what you think. If you think it's a false flag, again, I'm not claiming either way yet. I don't know. There is some dodginess from what we've seen there with the guy missing, and there's a lot of people filming it and the drone, and you know what I mean. My interest's peaked, and I am open to the possibility it could be a false flag. But I don't think there's enough here and this so far to definitely claim. Although we've got this bit here as well that the guy's name has been searched multiple times on Google Trends before the event. This happened in the Charlie Kirk affair. The Tyler Robinson's name was searched and the college and all sorts apparently on Google before the event. So that would often make it smack of a false flag. I mean, again, I don't trust the Charlie Kirk thing one single bit, to be honest. I think there's something going on there. 100%. So, yeah, again, have we got another here? But it's very much a possibility, again, because it looks like we're going to war and we need to galvanise the people for war. So it's very much a possibility false flags could be taking place here. So keep an open mind and let's get to the bottom of it. Again, we just want to know the truth here. You know what I mean? Whatever it may be, that's the beauty of it. Whatever the truth may be, I just want to know it. You know what I mean? I can accept it, I can handle it, and I want to know it. But that's all I want to know. The truth. Stop fucking lying to me. So we'll have a look. We'll keep an eye on it. But that's the story so far. Bondi Beach. Peace.